that. Alec Murdaugh took the stand today and testified about why he asked his cousin Eddie to shoot him in the head. One of the most bizarre aspects of this entire Murdaugh murder mystery. Take a listen to this.
In September, that wasn't designed to gain me sympathy. That was designed for me not to be here because I didn't want my son to have to deal with the wake of the things that I had done.
But that's not the story you told. The story that came out of your mouth right away was the story of you getting attacked by some unknown assailant while you were trying to change a tire in run flats. Well, that's the story that you told.
That is the story I told, but that's because the man who shot me did not shoot me that day as I intended. And I had to have a story as to how I got shot, so I lied.
Okay, I'm back with Eric Bland, Mark Geragos, and Sara Azari. We're also joined now by jury consultant Richard Gabriel. And Richard, I want to start with the. Oh, okay, we lost Richard. Let me go to Mark. Oh, he's back. Okay, Richard's gone. He's back. We got you finally, Richard. I'm really curious what you think about what the jury's thinking about this, because it's already so crazy, everything about what they've heard for the last month. And now he's talking about the assisted. Looks like we lost him. Let's go to Mark. Mark. You know, they've got to be confused, right? I mean, there's all of these crazy stories already, and now we've got an assisted suicide that he lied about afterwards. So another lie. I mean, do you think that this is, how is the jury processing all this, Mark?
Well, my experience with jurors, and I've tried my share of murder cases, most jurors want an explanation. And by the way, the explanation he gave resonated in terms of somebody who just didn't want to deal with this anymore. I can't tell you the number of clients that I have had who, when facing this kind of calamity, think about suicide. It is not uncommon. I can't tell you the number of clients I've talked out of committing suicide when they're facing not murder, but lesser charges. It's a horrible, horrible position to be in. I just think, we keep saying, what are the jurors thinking? Jurors are like anybody else. They're human beings. They see somebody who's testifying there. What other explanation is the prosecution going to give you for why he went to this kind of ridiculous scheme with Cousin Eddie, other than the fact that, yeah, he wanted to check out, and this was a way to leave something for the other son?
Yeah, I mean,
which is,
I think,
what are you going to give
I
me?
think,
that he wanted sympathy? Eric, I've heard that. It's as ludicrous as the financial motive.
Well, Mark, I'm not saying that.
What is there?
He wanted to direct the attention away from him. Please let me finish. He wanted to direct the attention away from him. Wait! That he didn't kill his wife and kid, and
Eric,
that there was somebody out there that was trying to shoot him.
So you think, Eric, that he didn't? Eric, do you think he actually didn't want to die? Eric, you think he didn't want to?
He did not want to die. He did not want to die. He wanted to divert the attention on the investigation away from him because SLED was coming after him that month.
There's
look at the timeline.
Don't just pop off. Let me just
Sarah, what are you trying to say, Sarah?
The reality is that criminal.
Sorry, quickly, what were you saying, Sarah?
It's just so absurd.
Yeah,
it is absurd. I mean, it is crazy.
All I want to say is this. Waters tried really hard to conflate a couple of issues. He tried to conflate the lies about the financial crimes, which he was admitting left and right. I lost count how many times he said, I lied about this, I cheated this guy, I took money from this guy. And he wanted to conflate those with the lie about the kennel. Then he wanted to conflate the idea that on June 7th that he murdered his family with the idea that he was taking his own life. And I think Murdaugh did a very good good job at drawing a distinction, saying that accountability was not at my doorstep on June 7th. It was. I hit rock bottom in September. I got fired, you know, and if I hit rock bottom, if accountability is at my doorstep, I kill myself, not my family. I thought that was a great explanation. Now, there might be Eric Blands on this jury, but I assure you, not everybody's Eric Bland.
Okay, let's
Eric
get
Bland
to some
is
calls.
very unreasonable.
I'm very curious.
He has no human experiences.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.